Hey guys, Wayback Rewind here. I'm here today with my HTC HS300. A subscriber asked me if there was a wide angle attachment for this camera, and of course the answer is yes. So I decided to buy one and build up a rig that I assumed he wanted to use for skateboarding. Now I'm not a skateboarder, so I'm going to try to do my best to approximate what a skateboard rig looks like. Coming up next, here on Wayback Rewind. Okay, welcome back. This is my Panasonic HTC HS300. This is not the original one. I bought one originally back in 2008, which broke like a year later. I eventually bought this as a replacement because I really like this camera because it has something that is not very common. It records to a hard drive and to an SD card. Now, an SD card is the industry standard for today recording. But hard drive is kind of nice as well. It can record onto this hard drive directly, and you don't have to worry about leaving the house and forgetting your SD card. Now, I'm not saying that's happened to me, but actually it has happened to me more than once, where I take my camera and I go out to record, and I don't have an SD card, and my day is ruined. So this camera is nice that if you forget your SD card, you can always record to the hard drive. So that being said, I wanted to build this camera up into a skateboarding rig. Now, I indicated in the open that I don't really know what a skateboarding rig is, but I know they all have wide angle lenses. So I got a wide angle lens for this. This is a 0.43x. It has a ring diameter of 43 millimeters, which fits this camera perfectly. This camera also has optical image stabilization. Now, if you get vignetting, I'm told that you want to turn that off. This camera does not seem to have any vignetting from this lens, which is a good thing. A lot of times when you put a wide angle lens on a camera, when you go out to the widest zoom, you'll see some dark corners, and that's kind of expected. You almost want to see that because that tells you that you're getting the widest possible angle on the lens, but you don't see that, which is, in my opinion, good. And my autofocus should still be working on this camera. It's in the widest possible angle here, and just to prove that, let's just do a quick test. When I zoom this all the way out, it's about the width of that VCR there. Now let's take this lens off and see if see how wide that is. I can't even see the full width of that VCR. I have to pan across to see the width of that VCR. So I put this lens on. Now I look here. You can see, I can easily see the width of that VCR. So it does make a difference. My zoom still works. My autofocus still works. Everything still works. So that's it for the lens. Now I also noticed that all of the skateboarding videos seem to have a top handle. Going back to the original VX1000, which was so popular, which had that top handle built in. Most camcorders do not have a top handle, and so what's become very popular is to add a top handle. So I got this from Small Rig. Small Rig, I'm a big fan of Small Rig. They're not always the cheapest brand out there. They're not always the least expensive brand, I should say, but it's very high quality. This is all aluminum, has a nice rubberized grip under the bottom, and a ton of different accessory holes. I've got like cold shoes all over the place. Got like 2 cold shoes on the side, one on the front here, one on the back. Plus, I can just add all sorts of stuff to this. So, my first inclination was to add the handle this way, but it seems like the skateboarders like it this way, so I'm going to go with it this way. Now, I've got a portable little rig that I can carry around, and the reason that they want the handle like this, if you imagine this table as the ground, I can hold this thing down here like this and follow the skateboarder and get in close and get a low angle, and that's the one that's going to show the best angle where I can get the entire skateboarder in the view, in the frame, and I can hold this up and I can see what's going on, and I'm good to go. And now I've got a couple things I can do with this rig. I can just go with it like this. As I indicated earlier, you know, a lot of people will modify these to be tapeless, but this camera is already tapeless. It already has an SD card and a hard drive, but if I wanted to modify it further still, I could add a tapeless setup to it. Of course, I have to put the cables on. I need some adapters, power supplies and whatnot, but I can do this. It's already tapeless, but I can turn this into a higher definition tapeless using my ProRes recorder. Or if I just want a bigger screen, I can use the same cold shoe adapter. You can bring in a larger screen. The screen is almost comically large for this camera, but I'm running around shooting skateboarders. This might be the size screen that I want. This camera has an HDMI output. I can hook it up right now to show you how it works. I would prefer to have a much smaller HDMI cable. A small coiled cable would be ideal. I have one of those on order, but just for now, I'll show you this just to see how it works. And it's working. This is now getting an output directly from the camera. I am getting live HDMI output from the camera. The camera's complaining because it's low on batteries, but I'm getting a clean HDMI out. So I've got my rig here. I built it up with a wide angle lens, top handle, large monitor. Beauty of this Small Rig top handle, you can put just about anything you need on here. What else might you need? Well, let's say I want to put a microphone on here. I've got cold shoes all over the place. I can just mount up. Let's see. I've got a spot right here. can add the microphone. Let's say I'm left-handed, so I'll put the mic on the right-hand side. Give me room. Get my hand on here. Cinch that up. Now I've got the wire in here out of the way. Microphone jack is down here. I've got a mic and a headphone jack, which is kind of rare in today's world, but I can just put my microphone jack in down there. This mic is also internally powered. I've got a green light. One of the things about this, I said it's SD card. Drawback is it's only the SDHC. Now SDHC maxed out at 32 gig. So I got a 32 gig card here. It will accept the 32 gig card, but if you put in a 64, it's going to look at you like you're crazy. It doesn't know what a 64 gig card is. I'm going to put on a fresh battery here. Powering up. Getting feedback from the mic, which is a good sign. I turn the volume down, feedback goes away. Hit media select, and come in here to hit SD card. Now recording to the SD card. The only reason I would prefer to do that over the hard drive, even though the hard drive is much bigger, I can pull that SD card out, stick it right into my computer, and it saves a step. I don't have to drive the camera over to the computer and look for a cable, do a bunch of different things. All I have to do is pop out the SD card and stick it in, just like any modern camera. But the only other thing that I would add to this rig would be a light. Got a light here. Kind of run out of spots. This light is working. It has its own internal battery. One of the nice things about building a rig, everything has its own internal battery. You don't have a bunch of cables all over the place. Although you get the same downside that now I have to recharge and worry about 5-6 different batteries. That's kind of a problem, but not that big a deal. I could put the monitor in the back cold shoe, put this in the front cold shoe. That might help. I don't know how I'd hold it. Let's just try that, see what it looks like. Monitor back here. Light right here. This light does work. Let's summarize the rig. Got the wide angle lens, top handle, the light, large monitor, external mic. I don't even know if I could hold it at this point, but I could use this side handle, hold the entire rig, like that. So I moved my light to the front cold shoe, give myself a little more room to get my hand in here. Now I got the side handle on here. Maybe I move the screen over here. Give myself more room on the monitor. How can this wire not be long enough? Maybe I put the light there. I don't know. Got a lot of different options. So there you have it. Got side handle, top handle, monitor, light, external mic, all this on a 2008 camcorder. It's already tapeless, so I don't need an external recorder unless I just want one. So I should take this outside. I'm not a skateboarder, but I can demonstrate perhaps credibly what you would use this for, how you would use it. It's about as heavy as a modern camera now. All this stuff, it's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, I'll show you what that looks like.
You better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me, and he gets claws real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the sword, never getting bored, loves the blood and gore, always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel it. Pushed departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped, you'll be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. Adrenaline pressure, it's stormy weather, lightning, thunder, pouring weather. Yo, I'm a go-getter, try to do it like me, but I do it better. I got a mind that's clever, the beast inside is competitive as ever. I'm conscious, my subconscious, an accomplice to me. I promise the darkness, I can honest believe. But don't cross me, I might lose control of the lost beast. He's locked away inside with the key controlled by fight or flight. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.